The following is from a 3-part entry highlighting the game F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. Enjoy. A game's presentation can also add to its sense of speed. Sensory feedback is a surprisingly important part of a game, even more than the actual graphical quality or fidelity. The reason modern features like vibration are such a big deal is because of this. While the Super Nintendo was born too early for the Rumble Pack, it does offer one of the best sound chips of its time, and F-Zero takes full advantage of it. The soundtrack is arguably more well known than the game itself, and for good reason. Classic melodies such as the Mute City theme are as iconic as they are exciting, but that isn't it. Each location in this game has a tempo and rhythm to its theme composition to match the game's intensity. I'm not asking the listener to be an expert in music analysis, but just looking at or listening to compositions like the White World music or the Big Blue theme shows just how much music adds to the pace and style of the game. It isn't just that the tempo is high, but it's a sense of rhythm in the percussion tracks, the way that the melody blends with the other parts of the themes, and generally just the choice in tones that add to the atmosphere of each track. The sound effects are also impressive and imperative to the game's core experience. The manual even boasts this by saying, "The game will be much more impressive if you listen to its sounds in stereo," as sound effects are carefully placed and timed in-game to give a sense of speed and intensity. For example, when passing others on the track, you can hear them get closer and closer until you pass them. In addition, crashes, bumps, and moments of low power have their own impactful sound. Low power, or the state near crashing and prematurely ending your run, is accompanied by a very subtle sound of the machine almost chugging, struggling to stay running. The game's graphics do nothing short of enhancing the feedback that the sound builds. While Mode 7 was groundbreaking for its time and the colors are brilliant and vibrant, it's the vehicle animations that really shine here. Sparks fly as the bottom of the racer scrapes the track on very sharp turns. Every state of a racer's speed is shown in varied ways in the exhaust pipes in the back. The Blue Falcon has moving flaps on the back for the craft's yaw. As a greater whole, F-Zero is a game that doesn't just use cheap graphical tricks to help push its sense of speed. A lazier game would use effects to communicate that things are fast, by simulating motion blur, simply speeding up the parallax scrolling, adding flashing, etc. What F-Zero does so well is, while you can literally see everything on screen as clearly as you should to play the game with the required precision, it still feels fast regardless. All this quality was not without its reward. The game sold better than most games on its console, outselling classics such as Final Fight, Final Fantasy V, and even Derby Stallion 1996. Go figure. To conclude, F-Zero is a game I would highly recommend to anyone who enjoys games that aggressively beckon you to master them. But it is a highly skill-based video game that can be extremely difficult when it really gets going, and thus it is certainly not for the faint of heart. F-Zero is not a masterpiece of a game because it is just a good racing game. F-Zero is a masterpiece because it excels at being the kind of game that leaves players wanting nothing but more of what it is, as it is.